Okay, I wanted to make a video about how one can heal oneself with one's own saliva, and I watched a video on YouTube, and the video was from dentist. Actually, it was a conference, and the conference was being filmed, where a dentist gave a speech, a public speech, and it was said that saliva, if it's healthy, can heal teeth. And I've been experimenting with that, and it somewhat appears to be true. Now, how do I know that? How have I measured it? I haven't gathered any written down data. It's just all in my mind. It's in my memory, and it's basically, I have, let's say, a toothache, then I just don't swallow saliva. I just keep it in my mouth. I make sure I don't just keep it like somewhere in an area of mouth where it doesn't have, where it doesn't cover teeth. I make sure it covers teeth, and I just keep it. Like, I keep it in that area. I keep it in such a way that it covers all of my teeth. And I did the same with water, and effects were similar, but it's best to use saliva. And obviously I was told to also use salt water to help with teeth aches, and that also helps, but I still found my own saliva to be the most effective. And I also found another health benefit for saliva, which is laying down in bed, but one that doesn't necessarily need to lay down in bed. Just be in a position where one needs to be in a position where saliva needs to be in enough amount such that it also can be used to rinse one's own throat. And I also rinsed my own throat with water and salt water, and it also helps. I just feel refreshed. But when I did it with my saliva, it was a better effect. And I didn't like gargle with my saliva, but I just simply laid down, I just closed my eyes, just relaxed, and kind of was aware of my throat muscles, just like I can be aware if I'm flexing my biceps or my triceps or my trapezius muscles or any other muscle. One needs to become aware how to flex and relax a given muscle, and then things are easier. It's easier to do some self-healing without any professional medical intervention. And obviously I'm not advocating not to go to a doctor or a dentist or some kind of a surgeon or eye specialist or whatever, but there are lots of self-healing techniques that can be used, and in fact are used, and that way money can be saved, time can be saved, and different resources can not be expended and also saved. And yeah, I'm aware that it's best to keep typing, because there's a lot of overwhelming majority of people that dislike the way I sound, but at the moment that's a work in progress, and obviously there should be tolerance, and there should be a level of respect, and there should be an exercisation of human rights and abiding by certain laws and all that good stuff. But at the end, people are people. I'm no different. When I see a movie, I want to see something as close to what I believe is perfection as possible. And if someone or a group of people do not believe that the input they're getting from me is according to their beliefs, that it's perfection or close to perfection, obviously they're not gonna like it. It's just kind of like it can be compared to sex. It's kind of like if you don't like having sex with your partner, it's very difficult to have a long-term relationship. And I'm not saying this from a personal experience, I'm saying this from the experience that I've learned from others, because there were some people that made jokes about basically sex jokes. They were making sex jokes, and they were quite public. They're called Hodge twins, and they make not just sex jokes, but also relationship jokes and fitness jokes and eating pizza jokes, kind of like food jokes, and they're extremely entertaining. So I would recommend them because they're not only informative, they're obviously not extremely scientific and with an engineering state of mind. Not to say that they're not intelligent, they are intelligent, but they use their intelligence to entertain and inform, because that's just what they chose to do, and that's where they're placed. And yeah, so I do recommend them. Oh, and yeah, as for the saliva approach, that's pretty much it. You just save up saliva in your mouth, you lay down, and one of the main reasons why I lay down is because there's less distraction, and obviously I make sure my room is quiet, or wherever I am, there's silence, and as little distraction as possible. And that includes my own thoughts. Like, I try not to start thinking about something huge, something important, or some email I need to answer. And then, once I lay down on bed or just on the floor, I just simply make sure I relax my throat, and even try to open my throat up and allow saliva to just go in a specific pipe in the throat, because there's the pipe where something is swallowed, and then there's another pipe. Now, I do not know full anatomy, but that's my theory, because when I swallow something, in this case saliva, it just goes down in a specific pipe, or that's just how it feels like. And then it feels like as if another pipe is blocked. And when I just lay down and consciously relax, because I can't relax just by default, by not putting any effort, so it can sound odd that someone has to put effort to relax, because it doesn't make sense. Like, how can you put in effort to relax? Why can't you just relax? But that's what happens when there's a lot of damage that has been sustained, and people who have these issues or similar issues can relate. And when it comes to opening up the throat, also one health and fitness expert is Elliott Hulse. He has unconventional methods of healing oneself, and obviously he has creative approaches. He has how the best way would be to put this, ancient approaches of fixing one's health. He explores and experiments with Chinese approaches, Native American approaches, which is just basically Indians, and I do not mean Indians as in people from India, but the people with long hair and who had bird's fur behind their ear, those kinds of Indians. So he experimented with a lot of methods from different cultures, and he documented all of it. And well, I don't know if all of it, but a lot of it on YouTube. And obviously anybody that wants can try, but as usual, always consult your doctor, always consult a professional. Yeah. What else could I add about this throat and medicine and windpipe approach? I don't think I will add anything much, but oh yeah, bioenergetics. This is also from Elliott Hulse, and obviously Elliott Hulse learned it from his own sources. Could be Wilhelm Reich or somebody else, but as I said, he has many sources. The point is, he practiced bioenergetics. Those are quite great, and they can be very intense. So whenever one starts to do bioenergetics, I would recommend not to overdo it, specifically for people who have a tendency to overdo it, to overdo with any task, to put too much effort into something, to want to progress quickly. Those people need to calm down and learn how to take things in stages. And the people who are way too laid back need to do the opposite. They need to learn to adapt quicker, learn quicker, put in more effort than usually is put in. So bioenergetics, one of the bioenergetics is called the bow. And it's called the bow because you make the shape of a bow. Then there's the bow where you put your hands behind your head, literally. The first one is where you put your hands above your head and then lay back, but not lay down, but just lay back. And third approach for doing bow is to put the hands on your lower back and lean back, or you can put your hands on your glutes and then also lean back. And fourth approach for bioenergetics is to lay on kind of like not exactly a table. It shouldn't be a completely flat surface. It should be where you can hang your head, but you're not laying flat. Kind of like if you were to have a barbell on the floor, and the barbell would be, let's say, 1 foot above ground level, and you put your upper back on the barbell and would find a tolerable and comfortable enough position where you can lay on a barbell, then that's it. That's a fourth approach for doing the bow, and that's called bioenergetics. And in each 4 of these positions you will experience, well, at least extremely likely you will experience tension in a given part of your body, and some will not be aware what the hell is going on. Why am I shaking? Why is my hip tight? Or why is my neck tight? Or why is my shoulder tight? Or why do I have sharp pain in my hip? Or why do I have pain in my elbow? Like, there's so many things that can happen that, as usual, it's best to be cautious, but not overly cautious, and run your own experiments. And when it comes to these bioenergetics, I used to do them quite a lot. And what I did with the fourth approach, where I mentioned the barbell, I used a seat, a chair, where I can lean back. I can lean into the chair. It's not a chair without back support. And I use the chair with back support to support my upper back, and I just leaned back. And obviously do not break your chairs unless you want to do that for whatever reason. Like, I don't know, you literally just want to break a chair, and that's a good reason to do so, because you want to buy a new one, so you have an excuse. So yeah, but yeah, I used the chair, I leaned back, and I released some quote-unquote energy trappings. But this is just one approach how to improve your health. Obviously there's different ways how to just exist and be present in life, just do stuff, and this is the stuff that I used to do. So I'm thinking, should I add anything else? But I mean, yeah, to add something additionally to the bow, it could be best to do it outside, because there's something about being in nature, but that's different for different people. And yeah, I guess I'll end. Yeah, that's it. Done. Finished.